Hey folks, I'm the new robot voice guy, and since Alp is a fucking idiot that cannot do a video without stuttering somewhere, I will take the job from him. Anywho, today, we are here with my personal opinion on every tier 10 Soviet ship I have within World of Warships. Please keep in mind that these opinions are personal, so it is completely fine to have a different opinion. Please spare me the fucking lectures about oh why this ship is worse than you make it out to be, oh but that ship is so good, etc. We shall start with Khabarovsk, the no longer love child, I mean one of the two Soviet tier 10 destroyers you can research. In my opinion, she is smack right in center within the mediocrity that is tier 10 matchmaking. She is no longer the queen she used to be, as her heydays are long behind us. Wake the fuck up people, long gone are the days of old. However, this does not mean that she is a bad destroyer. She has 4 angry boy turrets that reloads every 4 seconds or so, and shells hits like a truck against enemy destroyers. When it comes to her torpedoes, they are 6-kilometer ones, so they can mostly be used for only ambushes and close-range knife fights. Oh, and this brings us to her concealment. Yeah, don't even bother with a stealth build with this ship. In my opinion, this wastes her true potential as a gunboat. You will benefit much more from going full on guns blazing with every opportunity you can find. She also turns rather badly when you consider this is meant to be a destroyer, as she turns more like a bloody light cruiser. So, the rudder module is a must on the Khabar. Now, the thing that puts this boat on the mediocrity area is how she reacts to enemy armor piercing salvos. Unlike other destroyers, where the armor piercing will simply overpenetrate and do mediocre damage at best, in Khabarovsk, you will eat full penetration damage most of the time, which will more or less have the same effect as you hitting your head to a solid fucking brick wall while going 300 kilometers per hour. Overall, however, I still recommend getting this ship, main reason being that she will become a coal ship with the very next patch, and by getting her for basically free as a tech tree ship, you will get to keep your coal for another boat. Wait, never mind. With how slow Alp fucking works, we probably won't get this video out before April or some shit. God, this man's truly a lazy idiot lol. Moving on swiftly, we have the Grozovoi, the teamwork version of Khabarovsk. However, there are major differences between Khabarovsk and Grozovoi. We will now cover these differences. The first of these differences being her stealth, as you can actually build this destroyer up as a stealthy torpedo boat to a good length. She has 6-kilometer stealth. If you build her up for complete stealth, which is the same level of stealth you get for the Swedish travel boat Halland, and actually 0.1 kilometer better compared to a Smolensk. But, as this video is not about the Swedish boats, the Swedes will not be mentioned. Second difference being 2 sets of 5 torpedoes, with a range of 10 kilometers, effectively giving you the ability to stealth torpedo, something you just cannot do on the Khabarovsk due to both torpedo range and her awful stealth in general. I find a build that specializes on stealth, guns and torpedoes in general works with this boat. The third difference being her batteries. She has 1 less turret compared to her unloved sister boat, but they reload a little bit faster. Still, I prefer Khabarovsk guns to the Grozovoi guns anytime, so this is the one edge Khaba has over Grozo, at least in my opinion. Now, we shall move to the cruisers, and here is my one disclaimer. I will not cover Stalingrad, as I do not personally own her, and did not experience any matches in her, because I'm a retard, and never got the steel required to get one for myself. Either way, the lack of steel, and one Stalingrad in my port, prompted me to take on the regrind madness, and get myself a Slava instead. So, it is a trade-off lol. We shall start off the cruisers review with Alexander Nevsky. So, what is the Nevsky, and do I recommend her? Absolutely fucking yes. In my opinion, she has replaced Des Moines as the new bad boy in the town due to a longer range radar, although granted, you have a longer radar duration with Des Moines. So, I guess it is a trade-off in that regard. The guns on the Nevsky are 180mm, but they absolutely hit like a truck. Especially with reload, being as fast as a Des Moines reload, you can burn ships down at an astonishing rate. And armor piercing also punishes clueless glue sniffers on a regular basis too. Her gun range when compared to a Des Moines is also considerably a lot longer, which, again, gives you the comfort of long-range artillery spamming the enemy into submission, as if you can with Des Moines. you want to run the legendary mod with her. Nevsky also has 8km Q2zov torpedoes. Can anyone tell me why Q2zov is still not fucking back to the shop when the game has ships that are way more broken compared to the Q2zov and can be easily considered as Q2zovs on crack? Ouija, stop with your logic please lol. Moving to her big bad sister, we have Petro my fucking godlovsk. She is basically a Moskva but better. To start off with, she has a rather short duration radar, which Moskva has the clear edge on this over Petro. The radar on Petro only lasts around for a whopping 18 seconds, and that is with the radar upgrade you can buy from the armory for that sweet coal. Without it, your radar lasts for around 15 seconds, which is even worse lol. The armor scheme works in a very favorable way for Petro comparing to the Moskva. If you were to bow tank, in my opinion, Moskva and Petro can more or less tank in similar ways. But, giving your broadside wise, Petro literally has all the advantage over Moskva she can fucking ask for. For starters, Moskva's citadel armor is where you would expect a cruiser like that to have a weakness as rather high on the water line. So, give your citadel and your enemy will blap you the fuck out of the water. Petro's citadel on the other hand, is basically under the water, which makes her a lot more forgiving compared to the Moskva. And now we move on to the guns, and here is why I consider Petro to be in her own tier compared to not only other Soviet cruisers, but compared to other cruisers in general, which is the bullshit OP tier. She has 360-degree turning turrets, all three of her A, B, and C turrets. She also has almost an entire fucking kilometer per second shell velocity, 990 meters per second, which basically means you shoot nothing but armor piercing. Moving on from the bullshit, we have Moskva, which is the OG railguns, and was known as Battleship Moskva for a really good while during the old days of this game, and that was for a good reason. Her radar is a decent 36 seconds. Again, this is not the basic value, as I think this is established by now. I use radar modules from the armory. In a ho, this gives you basically a good amount of time to flush out any destroyers that might be having ideas to ambush you. She also has really fast shell velocity, 5mm less than Petro, but since Petro has improved pen and Moskva does not, you get to use HE more than you ever will on Petro. One edge Moskva has over Petro is her gun reload speed. With Moskva, you have more or less 10.4 seconds of reload, which, in Petro, it is 12 seconds. But then again, who cares about a mere 2-second difference when in Petro, you not only have a cruiser that outdoes a Moskva, but even a Stalingrad. Really at this point, I want a fucking answer on why they think Q2s should remain off when they introduced ships on another level to this game lol. And now we move to everyone's favorite, Smolensk. Smolensk is the result when an alternate reality exists, where Chernobyl did not experience the catastrophe and reactor number 4 went above and beyond and transformed into a ship. That is the equivalent of what Smolensk is. To start off with, she has quadruple gun batteries, and you have 4 of the Angry Boys which reloads every 4.5 seconds, and that is without even going for the reload module. Look at them. They are practically screaming the fact that yes, you are indeed going to the Gulag, and no, you cannot escape from this fact. Moving on to what Smolensk can offer you, it is a reminder that ships like this purely existing makes tier 10 a lot more interesting, but in a bad way. Really now, who fucking thinks Smolensk is a healthy addition to this game? Me owning one only means I'm indeed a bad person who deserves to detonate with the first salvo I eat. Anywho, the ship also has no armor. No really, she has tier 5 levels of armor, but even this works in her favor. As battleships have way too large guns at tier 10, it means for 95% of the time, any salvos you will take while showing your broadside to them will simply overmatch you. However, this only works if you are close to them, and by close, I mean below 10 kilometers. If you give your broadside and the enemy BB shoots at you from long range, there is a chance you will be dev struck, or at the very least eat a bunch of citadels. Moving to the battleships, there are 2. We will start this off with Kremlin, as she is the tech tree variant of the 2. Kremlin is basically the formula in which it is all about being aggressive. She has a magic formula that, the closer to your enemy you are, the better your gun dispersion gets, at least for most of the time. Just be prepared for the fact that in that one match, you will be the unfortunate bloke that will get no good dispersion. Such is the way with the RNG, but in the remaining matches, you will get the magic formula working as intended lol. Armor wise, you
Good night, girl. I'll see you tomorrow.
just bowing and laugh at the blokes that though they could do anything to you, as Stalin literally covers for you from hell itself. However, if you give your broadside, be ready for the consequences of your actions, as not even Stalin can stop you from being blapped. And then there are the guns. You have 9 18-inch guns, use them to destroy your enemies in your path, and carry your team to the finish line. The one thing you have to be careful about is that as with the rest of the Soviet battleships, Kremlin 2 has limited damage control teams, meaning if you waste them all on single fires, when you need your damage control, you won't have one, and you will suffer. So, be more conservative with them. And then we have her polar opposite sniper sister, the Slava. First made her appearance as a broken-ass sniper, then went all radio silent for a good while. Some people thought she was sent to be given extra stellinium, while some thought Ouija just wanted to lay low with her for a while, and then she made her return. Well, how does she hold up now? As a person that played tens of matches in Slava, I can say with clarity that yes, she is most comfortable as a backline sniper. However, that does not mean you should just grab the range module, fuck off to the J or A line, and then snipe. No, if it comes to it, you can push the flank. It is just useful to remember that as you are not a Kremlin, you will bite the dust if you are the frontline ship rather quickly, as she eats damage rather quickly, which I'm actually okay with. I mean, she has better gun pen with 16-inch guns compared to 20-inch Japanese guns, which makes no fucking sense. So, this is a good way. Oh yeah, and she has infinite damage control teams, unlike her tech tree battleship sisters. With that regard, you can technically spam as many as you can to put anything out. However, as with any cooldown, you will pay the price of being a retard with your damokins if you waste them for single fires. Learn to utilize your damokins the best way possible on any ship. And now, we move to everyone's absolutely favorite, Admiral Brokenmov. And that's my take on the Soviet ships. Since I'm a filthy Soviet main in this game, this will be probably the longest take I will do. Unless you want to see individual ships, then I can make the next videos long, while going into detail about every individual ship. And if you want every tier 10 version of this video, let me know. Just know that I will exclude the Soviet ships from it, since this video already covered them lol. In a ho, I will see you members later, probably for a Soviet update video, when they add the upcoming Sevastopol to the research bureau, and when I get her that is. Other than that, the next warships video will probably cover some other aspects. Anywho, thank you for watching this video. See you all around.